What happens when someone who understands excellence, someone who builds businesses, leads teams, and creates large-scale experiences, walks into a concert, expecting to critique it, but walks out completely changed? Not impressed, not entertained, changed. This is the story of a female CEO, a musician, an event organizer, who openly admitted she used to be a low-key basher of SB19, not loud about it, not hateful, just unconvinced. She didn't buy the hype. She didn't understand the obsession. But one night, in a field filled with over 100,000 people, everything she believed about them fell apart, because what she witnessed was not just a concert, it was something else entirely. Now, this isn't just another fan story. This is coming from Luisa Hilario, a CEO, a coach, a community builder, an agency owner, a program creator, someone who has spent years building systems, leading people, and understanding what it takes to execute at a high level. But beyond that, she's also been a musician for over a decade, and she's been organizing events since her college years. That means she doesn't just watch performances, she breaks them down. She understands what goes into every second, from production to logistics to audience experience. So when she says something is good, it carries weight. And when she says she was wrong, that matters even more. She walked into the Wakas at Simula, the Trilogy Concert Finale, with a mindset that many people won't admit they have. Curious, but skeptical. Interested, but guarded. She wasn't there to screen lyrics. She wasn't there to wave a light stick. She was there to observe, to analyze, to answer one question. Are they really that good? Because let's be honest, we've all been there. We've all looked at something popular and thought, is it really that special? Or is it just hype? That was her mindset. And then the show began, but not the way she expected. They didn't build slowly. They didn't ease into it. They didn't save the spectacle for the end. They opened with fireworks. And that single decision said everything. Because in the world of concerts, fireworks are usually reserved for the finale. They're the big finish, the final emotional punch. But SB19 flipped that completely. They came out and essentially told 100,000 people, we're not building up to the moment, we are the moment. That's not just confidence, that's vision, that's creative direction. And right there, the first crack appeared in her skepticism. Then came the music, and this is where her background as a musician kicked in. Because she wasn't just listening to the songs, she was listening to the arrangement, the structure, the layering, the execution. She even gave a direct shout out to bassist Richie Ramos, because what they were doing on stage wasn't average. It wasn't something you could casually put together. It was world class, and she made it clear. Only top-tier industry professionals get pulled into arrangements like that, meaning this wasn't luck, this wasn't coincidence, this was intentional excellence. But then came something even deeper, the synchronization, fireworks exploding at the right moment, the band hitting every cue, the choreography landing perfectly on beat, everything moving as one. And if you've ever worked in events, you know this is one of the hardest things to pull off, because one mistake, one delay, one missed cue, and the illusion breaks. But here, everything was tight, everything was precise, everything was controlled, and she recognized it instantly. This is not luck. This is hundreds, maybe thousands of rehearsal hours, the kind of work no one sees, the kind of discipline most people underestimate. Then came another realization. They were singing live, fully live, while executing intense choreography. And that's where things shifted even more. Because stable vocals while dancing at that level, that's not something you fake. That's not something you auto-tune. That's discipline. That's training. That's waking up early, repeating the same moves, pushing your body beyond comfort, again and again and again, until excellence becomes second nature. But what truly stood out was something most fans don't even notice, the audience experience. Because in a crowd of 100,000 people, it's easy to feel lost. It's easy to feel like just another face. But somehow, they made people feel seen. Interactive screens, questions directed at the audience, moments designed for participation. It wasn't random. It was intentional. It was psychological. It was designed to create connection. And that's when she realized this wasn't just a performance. This was a system. Then she looked deeper, not at the stage, not at the lights, but at the details most people overlook. The things that don't go viral, the things that don't trend, the things that separate a good event from a great one.
The restrooms? Clean. And if you've ever been to a massive outdoor event, you know how rare that is. The water stations? Free.
in extreme heat. That's not just logistics, that's care. The giveaways? Thoughtful. Raincoats for an outdoor venue. Cooling wipes for the Manila heat. Someone thought about the experience beyond the performance. Medical tents, clear signage, prepared systems. This wasn't just execution, this was respect for the audience. And then, the moment came. The one she couldn't explain away. The one she couldn't analyze. The one that hit her emotionally. She looked around. 100,000 people, all singing, all connected, all present. And on stage, 5 Filipino artists delivering something that could stand next to global acts. And in that moment, she thought about something bigger. She thought about countries like South Korea, how they built global influence through K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, K-food. Not because they were the only talented ones, but because they moved together. Government, industry, artists, fans, all aligned, all pushing in the same direction. And suddenly, she saw that same potential right there in front of her. And that's when it happened. The tears. Not because of nostalgia, not because the songs were trending, but because of what it all represented. Possibility, pride, proof. Proof that Filipinos don't need to shrink. Proof that Filipinos don't need validation. Proof that Filipinos can build something world-class on their own terms. She walked in as a skeptic. She walked out taking notes, raising her standards, rethinking how she leads, how she builds, how she creates. Because SB19 didn't just perform, they set a standard, a reminder that excellence is a choice, an intentional decision, repeated every single day. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just that a CEO cried, but why she cried. Because sometimes the biggest shift doesn't come from being convinced. It comes from being confronted with something undeniable, something real, something excellent. So now I want to ask you, have you ever doubted something only to realize later you were wrong? Let me know in the comments. And if you believe Filipino talent deserves the global stage, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and be part of this movement. Because moments like this, they don't just entertain, they change perspectives.